Good morning. Welcome to Gunners Lovers TV. Today we are going to be discussing the Arsenal striker situation. Yes, it's something we need to analyze. We're going to now use the process of elimination as you do in mathematics. Yeah, so first of all, Benjamin Sesko has signed a new contract in RB Leipzig, so he's out of the equation. He's not going to be considered as our striker at all because he has agreed to stay in that club to continue his development. Because of that, we're not thinking of Sesko anymore. And then we move straight to Ivan Toney. Ivan Toney, we know how good he was before his ban that has to do with betting. So he also did not do well towards the end of the season. In fact, the last 12 games, he virtually did not score. So he came in after that ban. He did score, show some, signs of who he was before. But after then, he just faded away like that. In fact, Brentford was very lucky not to go in serious relegation fight at the end of the season. So Toney again is not more of a fan's favorite now from Arsenal point of view. It's not like the fans really want him to come. Remember all his comments on the side. But even at that, if he was scoring goals, I think he would have been considered. I remember Brentford was looking for 100 million when he was very, very hot. And there was this interview Toney gave that said more or less the coach don't want to release him, or want to only release him if he has another club has 100 million pounds to pay. So again, Toney is out. Now the third one is Girassi of Stuttgart. Girassi, as we are told by Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal is not considering him at all because the Guinean striker was one of the best in the Bundesliga last season. He scored a lot of goals. Also, he's on loan from Rennes to Stuttgart. So again, we remove him. He's not being considered by Arsenal. The fourth person is Gyökeres. Lenino's publication, the Portuguese athlete, analyzed that he's the one that Arsenal has advanced their negotiation with. First, they said it was financial details left. Later, they said Edu has been able to reach a 75 million initial agreement with them because they want 100 million euros. So 75 million pounds has been agreed, which is like 90 million thereabout, with bonuses of that includes performances, Champions League appearance, goals scored, and all that. So with that, we can say that one is still in the pipeline. We have not had reports that Arsenal is not interested. We have not had reports that Gyökeres wants to stay in Sporting Lisbon this season, and because of that, it still looks like Arsenal is interested in him. Although Fabrizio Romano has said clearly that the way the paper Lenino has described it is not like that, that the negotiation is not at advanced stage at the moment. Arsenal may have shown interest, but it's not in an advanced stage. So as of today, everything concerning Victor Gyökeres is now silent. We have not heard anything from the newspapers again, not heard from Arsenal. Now, Another player which Fabrizio Romano has said it should not be ruled out that Arsenal might have interest is Victor Osimhen. Victor Osimhen is in the market, in the transfer market this season, because the president of Napoli is interested to sell him to make money, and it's about 130 million euros he has envisaged he will get from Victor Osimhen. But as at now, virtually every club is not interested in Osimhen. One, because of the what do you call it? Because of the price, and also not just the price. There are a few clubs he can go now. For instance, he cannot, or he might not go to Man City because they have two strikers there, Alvarez and Haaland, and they are both firing. If he wants to go to Man U, for instance, Man U is not in the Champions League. So that alone will discourage him to go there, even if Man U pays money. And of course, we know how Man U struggled last season, because we are now in internet age. Every report about Man U's feelings is on the newspaper, football wise. If you now says he wants to pick Chelsea last minute even fell out of the Europa League. Maybe he could have considered Chelsea Europa League to play, because if it's money Osimhen is looking for, Saudi were willing to give him like or close to triple of what he's earning in Napoli. So he clearly does not. He's not pursuing money. He is pursuing. His career, and to develop his career to be one of the best in the world. So with Chelsea at the moment, they have their own strikers there. Jackson is there, and the other one is there. Look, he cannot, in my opinion, consider going to Chelsea, because they are not in Champions League, they're not in Europa League, which is even next to, in my own rating, to UEFA Champions League. So they you rule out Chelsea. PSG was the one that they said was making might have interest in Osimhen, but no reports concerning Osimhen and PSG at the moment. Now, the reports we hear from Arsenal with them is that Arsenal has asked that if they reduce the price of Osimhen, they might be interested, not minding the fact that he had some injury issues last season, and he did not score as many goals as his first season. But having 18 goals, which is close to 20 last season, even considering his injuries, is a serious prospect to be considered. Now, Anthony Conte. Remember him, former coach of Chelsea, former coach of Tottenham, is the coach for Napoli now. In his first press conference, he said he has been told, he was briefed on the agreements that was made with certain players. I think there were 3 players. So one of them is Victor Osimhen. The agreement is that they will allow him to go this transfer window if any club shows interest and meets their valuation, which is like the release clause, which I've told you not long ago, about 130 million euros. So he is taking with that agreement. He has given it his veto. That's the word he used. He has given it his veto. So they are only just waiting. Napoli is just waiting for a club to show up. And once agreement is reached, Osimhen will be on his way. So Arsenal is the only one we are thinking is now interested in Osimhen. So those are the 5 strikers we have just looked at, because that was the analysis that was going on online, and which we have also analyzed here. Nico Williams is not a striker but a winger. He's playing now in Euros, but he's very good for Spain also. He's very good on the wings. I think he scored by 8 goals and 19 assists last season. So it is said that Arsenal had made the inquiry about him, and that I think it's about 50 million that is being looked at for Nico Williams. So the interest for Nico Williams look a little bit bright considering the reports online. So concerning buying again, that's another winger that might come in to support Saka. Saka is a starter for Arsenal. So the other wing is the one that involves Trossard and Martinelli. So he might be the place he might be entering, or he might be the one to always substitute Saka if he comes in. Now, when you look at other things happening, Arsenal considering outgoings, you now find that Sambi Lokonga Sevilla has made concrete interest, and I think Sambi Lokonga is just a question of dotting the I's now. He will be going to Sevilla, you see. But note that that will reduce the wage bill for Arsenal and free up some money. And also another person that is being considered now to go is Smith Rowe. Fulham has now made their inquiries. I think the negotiation is also going on. And Crystal Palace were told it's also making inquiries for Nketiah, but and Everton. But now Arsenal has quoted 50 million for Nketiah. Smith Rowe, I think they are quoting 40 million for Smith Rowe, 40 to 50 million. Now, Arsenal, surprisingly, has now had interest in Garcia. I think Garcia is a goalkeeper for Espanyol. Yeah, and now they've gone far in the negotiations. So he might be the first to come in. He's 23 years old. He's a short stopper, which makes me now want to think about what will happen to Ramsdale. You see what will happen to Ramsdale. I don't know whether Ramsdale is in the market. Now we're just about to also confirm the purchase of David Raya, who we have the buying clause to pay 27 million. He will now become a permanent Arsenal player, because remember he was on loan from Brentford. So you now have another situation in our hand where you have three very good goalkeepers. Now, the only way to keep them happy, as I've always said, learning from past mistakes, will be to ensure that they play in different competitions and rotate them as much as possible. You know, keeping only David Raya, I know it's very good to play all matches, while the other two are just 1 minute of the bench. Again, before you know it, one person will say he wants to go. So this is the situation in Arsenal at the moment. There is no other news, or if there are any, you might also let us know. Nothing too concrete at the moment. Nothing too concrete at the moment. Our boys, many of them are in Euros. They are doing very well. Hopefully, our timber, jurrientimber, would have been training very hard now, and it's going to be like a new signing. So we've only seen him in like 2 matches before. So that was pre-season. Sorry, that is in Emirates Cup, and the first match against Nottingham Forest before he got injured. So he's going to be a very good signing for us. He will not be deterred by that injury. He's more determined, I'm sure, to prove himself. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you all those who have subscribed. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Share this video to your friends. Tell them what we are doing on this platform. Remember, Jesus Christ loves you, and I will see you in our next video. Bye.